So hopefully I've convinced you that maybe there ought to be a better way. And it turns out there are 5 better ways, and they look like this. 5 different models by which companies like yours, some of you are already doing this, I know, can get cash from your customers. So you can build a matchmaker model where you just bring buyers and sellers together like eBay did. And because it's really quick and easy to build a website today, and you never touch or own what's bought and sold, it takes no cash to build a business like that. Okay, there are pay-in-advance models where you just get the customer to pay you sooner. That's what RiseX was doing during the downturn. There are subscription models. We all subscribe to things, right? When do we pay for the subscription? Well, we pay at the beginning, right? And then the goods or the services are delivered later. There are scarcity models. Companies like Zara, who I'll talk about in a minute. Zara does something very different than what Gap, where I used to work, did. Gap tries to sell as much as it can of every style as it can, and tries to maximize volume. Zara takes a very different view. They say, well, we're just going to put a little bit of each style in the store. And when it's gone, it's gone. And we're going to sell it at a very competitive price because we don't want to mess around with markdowns. So the customer at Zara has been trained that if she finds a dress that she wants to wear, she doesn't say, well, I'll come back next month and see if it's on the sale rack like you might do at Gap, where I used to work. She says, I better buy it today because I know it won't be here tomorrow. And in fact, customers come back week after week after week because they want to see the new stuff in the store. So Zara has limited the quantity on a style-by-style basis and kept it very scarce in both quantity and time. And then service-to-product models, that's what Bill Gates and Paul Allen did to build Microsoft. You may not know the origins of Microsoft, but Allen and Gates were in the business of writing operating systems, and they were the only ones who knew how to do that in the various early days of the PC industry, so they wrote operating systems for everybody. Ricoh, Altair, you name it. IBM, of course, became famous. Well, they kept writing these customized operating systems, and that's a service business, right? But along the way, at one point, they said, wait, these systems all kind of look alike, right? We've learned how to do this, and they're all pretty much the same. Why don't we just create a product out of this? We'll call it MS-DOS. We'll put it in shrink-wrap boxes or let it be downloaded with a PC when it's purchased. And voila, that's when the value in Microsoft really got created, when the service was transformed into a product. Okay, now, is anything new here? What do you think? Is there anything new there? That's old stuff, right? Can you think of some examples of companies that have put these models to work? Any of these models. I'll flip back to the chart so you can see them. Take 2 minutes. Think of some other companies you know that have put these to work. Go. Okay, let's come back together. So, examples of other companies. Is there anything new here? There's nothing new here, guys. This is old, right? It's not new. Pay-in-advance models have been used forever. Consultants get paid first payment when? In advance. If you want to remodel your kitchen, when do you pay the builder the first payment? In advance. The designer, first payment in advance. Michael Dell, a 19-year-old freshman at the University of Texas, convinced small companies in Austin to pay him 100% in advance for the PC that he promised he would build. If a 19-year-old freshman can do it, so can you. Okay. Matchmakers, eBay, Expedia, lots of them around, right? We've all seen them. Nothing new there. Subscription models, newspapers, magazines, Netflix, on and on, cable television. Nothing new there. Scarcity, Zara, I've told you that story. Nothing new there. And Microsoft, okay? So these are not new, but nobody's talking about them. And we need to do it, okay? So what I'd like to do is share with you just a few stories of some very cool, scrappy, entrepreneurial leaders in the 21st century that are putting these ideas to use. And the first guy is Vinay Gupta from India. In 2006, And he built a very interesting pay in advance business in India called Via. Imagine you lived in a small Indian city in 2006, and you needed to fly to Delhi to do some business next Wednesday. Where do you think you got your ticket for the flight in 2006? Not online, right? You got it from a travel agent, a local travel agent, probably a mom and pop travel agent in your small city. Well, there was a problem in 2006 because when you went to that travel agent to ask for a ticket to Delhi next Wednesday, the travel agent would say, well, come back tomorrow, I'll tell you when you can fly, because they had no real-time ticketing capability. They weren't connected in to the global distribution system for airline tickets. What Gupta did is he said, you know, if I could connect all these mom and pop travel agents around India into the global systems, I could make it better for them against their competitors and make it better for their customers because they get real-time tickets right now. You know, you walk in and buy a ticket like we do in the rest of the world, and I could probably give them better commissions than the airlines are giving them as mom and pops dealing one-on-one with airlines. So he spent 2 months in his home city of Bangalore and in Chennai signing up travel agents. And in 2 months, he signed up 170 travel agents to the following deal. You give me, Mr. Travel Agent, a $5,000 deposit against which you're going to issue tickets. So there won't be any credit issues going forward. You'll just top up the $5,000 every time you issue another ticket. And I'll give you real-time connectivity into the system, and I'll give you better commissions. Do the math, guys. $5,000 deposit times 170 travel agents in 2 months. How much cash has he got to start the business? $850K. Do you think $850K goes a long way in Bangalore in 2006? A lot of money, right? The business grew very quickly. Travel agents loved it. He brought in an angel investor who had been the managing director of the Thomas Cook travel business in Europe. And did that guy have the right network? Absolutely, he did. So a year in, they had 300 travel agents issuing 3,000 tickets a day. They then took a little venture capital to say, well, let's grow it faster and let's do rail and bus, because a whole lot more rail tickets were sold in India than plane tickets, as you might imagine. Fast forwarding to last year, the business did $500 million in revenue. 2006 to 2014, 0 to $500 million in 8 years. How do you like that growth? Today, Via is the Intel Inside of the travel industry in India, the Philippines, and Indonesia, and practically nobody has ever heard of them in those countries.